Hey, you guys, we are just getting sort of straightened out here. Welcome to the Dynasty United team call. I'm so excited. We have an awesome call today, you guys. Sarah Kruck is going to be our guest speaker, and I'm just incredibly excited for you guys to hear from her, to kind of share some, just share the love that I have for Sarah, and just kind of get a glimpse into what she's seen in her business as just an incredible strong point. You guys, she is somebody that I look at as a newer coach, now turned what I would call veteran coach, someone who has dove in with her personality and has really figured out how to consistently help new people every single month, which of course is proven and reflected in Success Club. So you guys, that's what this call is all about. It's about tips for becoming like a true leader in the business. And Success Club, we know it's not just about the points. We know that Success Club is a giant monthly milestone in our business that is incredibly important, not only to build a stable long-term business, but specifically to fulfill our mission, which is to help more people. Each Success Club point that we earn reflects and represents people who are starting on their journey, whether it's building their business or starting in a challenge group. And so you guys, Sarah Kruck is a longtime friend of mine, who she might tell you a little bit. She was what you would call a skeptic in the beginning of my journey, which is just such a common thing, and it's just such a cool thing for me as a friend and as a mentor to see coaches who have that skepticism. That is just a real thing. I mean, that's just like human nature to be a little bit skeptical about things like this. But then to watch Sarah come into her own, be leading, she's a diamond coach that's leading her team in first of all, in such originality, and second of all, just with such strength. You guys, she was a discount coach for a while. And then when she was ready, that's why I always tell you guys, everybody has their own process. So when she was ready, when she saw the rhythm that she could catch for herself in this business, she just took off. You guys, she's a Success Club 10 All-Star. Currently, she's, this is pretty fun, she's an official test group member for 22 minute hardcore. And so that's a pretty cool thing. She gave me some of her stats that I want to read to you, because this pretty much proves that she is warranted. She is eligible to be talking to us about this topic. So she's got 14 consecutive months in Success Club. She's earned a total of 281 Success Club points, which really means that she's helped at least 140 people. I mean, think about that. 140 people have had the opportunity to get healthier for the long term because of Sarah's decision. You guys, she is just awesome. Many months she's surpassing Success Club 10 in the 20s. You know, the highest month I think she said was 32 points, which is just amazing, you guys. So Success Club 5 is amazing, right? And so multiply that by 6 and you've got one of Sarah's highest months. So I'm just incredibly excited and thankful that Sarah took the time to prepare this presentation and is willing to share her tips with Dynasty United as a whole, because clearly it's working for her. Clearly she has learned a thing or two as she's built her business. So Sarah, I want to say thank you. I want to say I'm so proud of you. I love your stuff. You are honestly, in a lot of ways, a trailblazer in this team, because you have taken your style and I think inspired hundreds of coaches from Dynasty United, just with a different look, a different approach. You guys, she's a military wife. She's a mom. I mean, she's done a ton of freelance work. She designed my wedding invitation. I mean, there's just so much to Sarah that it's just really cool to see her bring her strengths out in this business and really put it to such amazing use of helping people. So Sarah, I want to go ahead and turn it over to you so that you get as much time as possible delivering this awesome content. So I will hop on off and let you take over, girl.
Hello? Can anybody see me yet? There's a delay. I don't know yet. Wow, there's a really big delay. Okay, yes, that's for me. Yes, okay. Hi, okay, see myself. Wow, that's a big delay. Okay. Hi, everybody. Wow, what a wonderful introduction. I see the chat box. It's probably going to distract me, so I'm going to Save your questions for the end because I would love to answer some questions. But if you want me to get through this in 30 minutes, my team is laughing because I love to talk. I have to stay on point and give you all the goods. So as a new coach, I remember watching these calls and being so inspired and like, oh my gosh, I hope I get to do that one day. So this is such a turning point for my business. A lot of coaches I know that do these calls, they get nervous because maybe they're introverted or they're not used to speaking. Well, me, I'm an extrovert. I love it. I love to talk and kind of go with the fly of things. But what's making me nervous, not too nervous, but is what I'm talking about, Success Club. And the reason is because like Brittany said, I've made a lot of points in the past and I've been consistent, and I would get a lot of coaches message me and like, what's your secret? What are you doing? And in the beginning when I was sort of new, I was like, I don't know. Like, I think I'm doing the same things you're doing or what Brittany's taught me. So now I've been doing this a while, 14 months in Success Club. It was really cool to be able to go back and look and see what I have been doing. So I want to share 10 tips with you. And the reason I'm going to share 10 tips is because I kind of want to give you a library to choose from, to see, you know, there's going to be some of you guys that say, oh, I'm already doing that. And then there's gonna be some of you that go, oh my gosh, I've never thought of that before. And so I just feel like you guys can have kind of a big width of things to choose from. So, okay, I'm gonna take myself off video and I'm going to show you my presentation and walk you through it. All right. Okay, I think everybody can see it now. All right, so let's just get right into it. All right, so number one, know your network and show them who you are. And what I mean by that is Brittany kind of said I was a skeptic in the beginning. I was a discount coach for 8 months, and so this really applies to my journey personally. But it's very important to show you how I started. 8 months, I was a discount coach / hobby coach. I didn't really know if I wanted to build. And like Brittany said, I had a lot of uniqueness about me. I didn't know how to navigate this. And I had to figure it out. And so I always told Brittany, you know, I have to figure my network out first. I've been on Facebook as long as Mark Zuckerberg. We're the same age. And so when I started doing Beachbody, I had a big network, not a huge network, but I had people to reach out to and to talk to. But my thing is I had a lot of different kind of people. And I couldn't just say, hey, I'm doing this now. I'm a Beachbody coach, because they'd be like, what? You're what? You know? And so I had to kind of figure them out and learn how to talk to them about this and kind of learn who I was and how I wanted to work this in. And so I just want to show you just some different ways of how I've shown who I am. And yes, I'm a health and fitness coach and I love to work out and stuff, but I just can't go posting selfies of myself in a mirror or showing my progress, because my network, it's like crickets. They're like, we don't care about selfies. Some of them do now, but some of them didn't. And so I had to kind of figure out, how can I get them to see this progress without doing it like everybody else necessarily. Selfies are great. They work wonderful for people, but they just didn't work for my network. And so you'll see the picture of me with Shaun T, this cutout at Summit. You know, here I'm able to show that I've gotten into shape and this, but I'm kind of like doing it in a fun way that is humorous to my network. You know, my progress picture in the bottom left with my daughter, again, I'm showing my progress from this test group, but like having fun with my daughter at the same time, and that got a lot of response. I'm also an artist, and so I like to do some creative, like do-it-yourself stuff, and that's where you see the chairs. And I did the sketch of that quote. I like to go to thrift stores and buy old records. And just like, even when I post about Shakeology, I was like, I can't just post a picture of me holding a shake and a selfie. It just doesn't work for my network. So I had to put a spin on it in my creative way. And so you'll see kind of near the top, the picture of the shake with the apple pie, and that my network really responds well to that. So I'm not saying everybody has to do it that way, but that's just me. That's who I am. All right, so the next slide, I'm just gonna have to scroll down, is number 2, which is planting seeds and gaining trust of your network. And this is something, again, coming from the first tip, where I had to figure out how to talk to my network. And so what I'm doing here is, and let me see if you can see this slide well. You know what? 1 second, I'm going to do this and see if this works better. Okay, I think that should work better. All right, so sorry. Oh, it's kind of being choppy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the other way was fine, Sarah, if that works for you.
Okay, I just want you guys to confirm that you can see, even though I can't really see it so well. It's just, I think it's being funny with all the stuff I have up. Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try this one more time. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. Sorry about that. Okay. It's still coming up so choppy.
See if you can try to, did you already stop screen share? See if you can get out of like screen share mode and then
Okay.
back in. That might help.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Sometimes it is absolutely crazy like that. I don't know why.
Let me try it one more time. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Okay, I'm just gonna do it through preview. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry about that. Let's try it one more time. I'm gonna just do entire screen and go from there. Okay, we good now? Okay, can you guys see this? Okay, you can see it, right? All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Brittany, if anything crazy happens, you can tell me. Okay, so again, planting seeds is once you figure out your network, you kind of figure out how to talk with them in the way that suits you. And so these are all different posts that I did as a discount coach. I hadn't done challenge groups yet. I wasn't inviting or connecting with people. I wasn't even really doing the consistent vital behaviors. And so my plan was to work this new lifestyle into my everyday postings. And so I call this being a visual communicator, and I try to teach my team that. And what that means is when you go to post something about, you know, what you're doing as a fitness coach, ask yourself, how do I show that I'm a Beachbody coach without actually using the words Beachbody, or coach. And you don't have to have a degree in design to do this. You just have to be creative, and that can take a while for some people. But so what I did here is, I'm on a family vacation, and I brought my 21-day fix with me. The second picture is me doing the old school Shakeology cleanse. And you guys, I got like 40 people asking about this. And one of them is a coach now. She was someone who was a planted seed from that post, asked me about the cleanse, ultimately said no to Shakeology, tried to do it herself. And then later when I did advertise for a challenge group, she was the first person to sign up. She was like, okay, I'm ready. And so that's what I mean by planting seeds. You have to gain the trust of your people so they know, okay, she's not trying to sell me something. She's not just going to message me to take advantage of me. And so, you really have to pump your well, and soon enough it will flow. And that's what happened to me when I went to start my first challenge group in January. All these people had followed my journey. They said, okay, let's go. And I felt like maybe to the Dynasty United team, I kind of came out of nowhere, but I had been planting these seeds all along, and I didn't even realize I was. Of course, now I do. So anyways, if you're a new coach and you're still feeling it out, this could be something you could do. And all right, so we'll go to the next one now. I think we're all working well. Okay, tip number 3, host more than one challenge group a month. And what I mean by this is, don't just limit yourself to one group. In the beginning of my coaching, my builder journey, I was hosting 2 groups a month for about 4 or 5 months, and I was hosting a moms only group. And part of my journey with Beachbody, my story started after I had my baby, and I did 21-day fix, and that's where my transformation came from. So I had a true heart and personal connection to moms wanting to lose weight. And so I was also finding that moms were more willing to join a moms only group because of whatever insecurities they had, or thinking, oh, I'm going to be with these younger, fit college girls or whatever. And so I began to make a moms only group, and I got a really great reaction. The groups were really successful. But after a while, as I grew my business, it got to be a little bit too much, and that the group fizzled out a little bit, but I wasn't able to give it the attention I needed. And so I ultimately stopped. But if you're a new coach, go ahead and do this. And don't think, oh my gosh, I can barely handle what I'm doing now. How can I do more than one group? Well, don't do it by yourself. Right now, you'll see the Hammer and Chisel group for the new launch that we had. I am doing this group with Mindy, who's my success partner, another coach on our team. And Mindy and we are in the last week of this long group. We've never done a long group before, and we just tag team. Between the two of us, we had enough challengers to create a great group. And so I take 1 week, she takes the other, and stuff like that. And then another thing I tell coaches is to do a 3-day refresh group. And I do this, I've done one after summer to kind of get rid of that like summer fun bloat. And then I did one after Thanksgiving, and it's 5 days. I have a template and stuff. If anybody wants to see it, we have 1 day of intro, kind of in prep, and then the program, and then a conclusion. So that's one idea you can do. All right. Tip number 4, be cool, not desperate. Even if it's the end of the month and you are, we all get desperate. It's okay. And so what this is about, and I'm really passionate about this with my coaches, is like, don't just go, asking everybody to join. And be a little selective. And when you are being desperate, you don't have to come off like you are. Tell your success partner you're freaking out, but don't tell the people you're talking to. And so these are just some tips. No means no. Don't beg people to join, even if you really need them. You're not a used car salesman. Don't act like one. Don't be pushy. Don't try and oversell it. When they say no, accept it and move on. Just cut your losses. Don't try to convince them. I tell people I'm not in the business to convince someone to do something they don't want to do. If they're doing something and it's working for them, great. But guess what? I'm here to tell you what I know works for me, and you have to have confidence in that. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when we act cool or collected or confident, is we leave that door open for those people that say no, that aren't ready, that are skeptics like me. You know, I was a skeptic. Brittany told you that, but you know, she was never begging me. She probably knew I was a skeptic. And so, you know, I was very open when she came to ask me to join a group. And so, because those people will come back to you most likely. I get a lot of challengers that come to me months and months later that are ready. Okay, and I have a little bullet point in here about be a little mysterious and set yourself apart. And what I mean by that is specifically when you're interacting in interest groups on Facebook, you're gonna get a lot of posts from like people that just ask, hey, who can recommend a home workout program? Or I need to lose baby weight. And then you know what happens? People come out of the woodworks posting in the thread about, I sell this and I do this and then what they're selling. Don't get lost in all of that noise. Set yourself apart by taking the initiative to build a relationship with them. Personal message them separately. It's okay to be, hey, I'm gonna message you so they know to get it, but just be different. Don't be like everybody else, because this business is about building relationships, not about selling. Okay, number 5. Have consistency in your social media. I put duh in parentheses because you probably might think, well, duh, that's something we should be doing. What does this have to do with Success Club? Well, something that I realized in the past few months of my business is that I have a lot of these silent friends and these lookers that are always watching, even if they aren't active on your page. Again, I was a skeptic with Brittany. I was a looker. She knows that. I didn't like her stuff, you know, and I didn't, you know, interact on her page. And that's okay because I was watching. And so when the time was right, I was ready. And so the reason this has to do with Success Club is when you're not doing challenge group invites or coach opportunities or whatever, just remember to stay consistent. I mean, even if you have your Success Club points, stay consistent because people will remember, you know, oh, she was a Beachbody coach. How can I do this? And so these are all messages from, they're actually all Army wives, and I never talked to them. Some of them I thought, oh my gosh, they probably think I'm gonna try to sell to them. But they reached out to me and they said, hey, I just started Hammer and Chisel. And at the end of the video, it said, find a free coach. And I thought, Sarah's a coach. Ding, ding, ding. It's like, yay. I always say that God sends me those people and they're like bonus. Last 2 months, I think I signed up 2 discount coaches because they wanted the discount. They love Shakeology and I had no idea they were interested. So this is a tip to think about even if you haven't before. Okay, number 6. Okay, this is something I'm really, really passionate about, and I think something that I naturally kind of do, but just because you're not naturally a personable person doesn't mean you can't learn to be. And so I just want to give you a few tips. So be personable, relatable, and transparent in your conversations. When I talk about personal and relatable, I just mean it's good to have templates. We want to have template messages and template hey girl messages, and because that's going to save us time, especially when you're building a business. However, don't get stuck copy and pasting and like just being generic to people. Like always start off with something personal and make a connection with them. Be relatable. Say, you know, this is, you know, I was like you when I had my baby. I didn't know what to do to work out and I did this. And so that's just what I mean. Take that extra time. In the beginning, it might take you a little bit more time to do this, but I'm telling you it pays off. I'm telling you. And then transparency, what I mean by transparency is when someone commits to buying a challenge pack and I set their link up, I send them a message and I say, hey, I just sent your link. Let me know if you need help with it. Oh, and by the way, your challenge pack comes with Shakeology HD, meaning it's home direct. And I kind of explain why that is because I feel like some people, especially me, if you deal with skeptics, you might think, oh, fine print. Oh, they're trying to nickel and dime me. Oh, this is a contract. I knew they were skeezy. You know, and you don't come off in a way that's like defensive, but you just let them know and you let them know why. This is great. I love Shakeology, so it shows up on my doorstep. That's all you have to do. So that's kind of an example of what I do and what I tell my coaches to do, because in the very beginning of my business, I lost a challenger. I didn't lose her, but she went and bought off Amazon because she got scared of the fine print. And I was like, no. So she was still a challenger and she was great, but it was my mistake because I wasn't upfront with her. So, all right, I think without the delay, I think we're doing good. Okay, number 7, hustle hard and plan ahead. Okay, so we all know, if you're on Brittany's team, she is a big believer in hustling, hustle and heart. And so a tip that I got from Brittany a long time ago and that she's always telling us is to, in the beginning of the month, really have Success Club on your radar and be invited and be in your power hour and be doing challenge group invites and really and try to get those goals early. So then in the second part of the month, you aren't stressing, you aren't, trying to scramble. And as you grow your teams, you get to invest more into your teams on the second part of the month and help encourage them and not worry about your own Success Club goals. Now, okay, so plan ahead. Okay, it breaks my heart when I see coaches throw in the towel on Success Club because they're going on a cruise, they're traveling, they have a busy month, they are moving. Dude, military people, you know that moving is like a part of our life, and so you just have to work around it. And when I built momentum in my business, I was moving cross country from Colorado to Florida to Georgia. And I wasn't going to let that stop me. And towards the end of my Colorado life, Jason and I planned this great trip to South Dakota. And I asked Brittany, I said, Britt, what do I do to get Success Club, but I want to unplug during this trip, or I want to have fun? And she said, well, just work hard in the beginning so you can relax. And so you can see the picture of Mount Rushmore. That was when Beachbody On Demand came out. And I said, ooh, this will be really cool. And it's one of the most fun posts I've done. But all of these pictures here are pictures and posts and challenge group invites that I created on vacation. You know, I used a picture of me at the beach to show my personal development. I did that little graphic, the challenge group graphic with no pictures. I made that at the beach from my phone and got like 5 challengers from it. Like, you just be consistent, because the reason I'm saying this is, yes, we want to unplug, we want to enjoy our life, but when we separate the business and our vacations or our life, we're kind of like not crediting what we do as coaches. Like, we want that freedom. And so bring the business with you. That is the whole point. Have fun with it. All right, I'm gonna try to move along since we're coming to the end. Okay, number 8, jab, 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 right hook. Okay, some of you are familiar with this concept, others may not be. And I have not read the book yet by Gary Vaynerchuk. I think I said that right. I do have it on my list. It is the next in line. But something I learned when I saw Megan Ewaldson, who was a top 3 coach last year, talk in Atlanta, is she mentioned about social media and how she uses this method. And so I've kind of applied it to my inviting and challenge group and Success Club, and I tell my team to do this. And so what Megan told us was that you have to work with Facebook. When you are messaging with people, Facebook recognizes that relationship, and so they put your stuff into their newsfeed. Because sometimes people miss your amazing challenge group posts because they just don't see it. It's so flooded with everything that we have to kind of work with Facebook. And so what I do is, so like, you're gonna jab, which Sunday you add new contacts, you send out personal messages. You do the same thing Monday, you do the same thing Tuesday, and then Wednesday, bam, you throw your hook and you post a challenge group invite. And here is where you just, instead of like asking your contact if they want to join a group, it's going to show up in their newsfeed. And oh, wow, she's really cool. And she does this. Oh my gosh, and she lost all this weight. And so that is just a new tactic that I've been doing, especially as I get out of my warm market. And it's really helpful. So if you can start doing this now, I highly suggest it. Okay, I'm doing good on time. I'm really proud of myself, especially with our glitch. 2 more things. Number 9, set up a system and make sure to use it. Okay, I can't cover everything that I want to in this slide, but I will cover some things, and then later I will share them with anyone who wants them. Okay, so a lot of you veteran coaches probably have your own system set up. You know it works, but as new coaches, you're kind of fumbling through the dark, trying to figure out this stuff, this link, and using the Coach Mobile, and what's happening. How do I talk on Facebook? Do I do email? And so what I've learned that works for me is this process of you start a personal message on Facebook. Then when someone says, oh, I want to start a challenge group, or I want to know more information, doesn't mean they say yes, but they want more information. You send them a detailed email. I'll go back to the email in a second. But then when they say, yeah, let's go, you say, what program do you want, and what Shakeology flavor? You set up their purchase link. Ta-da! That's it. And then you kind of follow up and make, I always tell them, hey, when you get your challenge pack, let me know, so we make sure you have everything there. And so this works really well for me. But when it comes to the detailed email, I will share that with anybody that wants it. I don't want to spend time talking about it, but it just has like a breakdown of the requirements of the group, talks about Shakeology, my personal experience with it, kind of an intro and a closing, and then I suggest a program. I also suggest to get a separate email for your Beachbody, just so you can keep everything together. It just makes it really organized. So like mine is sarahkruckfitness@gmail. And then in my Gmail, I have a bunch of templates, folders I've made that have these templates of kind of a generic email that I update every month with the new group or the new dates. And then I have a challenge pack email, a challenge pack breakdown email, and I update the sales at the beginning of every month. And these are important because in the beginning as a new coach, I went into the coach online office and I did all this work and I learned like what prices were, what the trainers did, so I could better place programs with people. And so this is really helpful and it saves a lot of time. All right, one more. Yay, number 10, referrals, follow-ups, and giveaways. Okay, so again, some of these might be obvious to you, some of them might not be. And so what's pictured here are pictures of giveaways that I have done, and I usually do giveaways when I'm, again, feeling desperate and people just aren't coming around to wanting to join a group, and so they might be interested in, oh, sure, I'll take a free gift card to Starbucks or whatever. And these are really effective, I've found, in like the slow months of the business, like the falls and in the winters when people just aren't want to work out, but they want to get free stuff. I've had a lot of luck with Fix-It cookbooks. People love them. And so when it comes to giveaways, don't feel like you have to buy them new Nikes or jewelry. You don't. Go to Target and TJ Maxx and find those really cute things that you want to buy for yourself, but you don't need, and give those to people. $5, $7, cute journals, whatever. If you don't want to do, mail, you can do online gift cards. So, and just do like $5 to Starbucks, because you know what? That is a free coffee because they are expensive. Okay, so that's giveaways. And then following up, don't overthink or prejudge someone because they haven't read your message. It doesn't mean they're ignoring you. Facebook is busy. People are busy. My network of moms are stinking busy. And you have to take your emotions out. You can't say, oh, they hate me. No, dude, that's not cool. I mean, how many messages do we miss? And so I just follow up with people 3 times, and depending on who I'm talking to, I'll like kind of joke with them like, hey, just bugging you again. Or some people I'm more formal. It depends who I'm talking to. But follow up with them, because I'm telling you, man, those people can save you in Success Club. If you left them hanging, you might not have hit your goal. Yeah, and referrals. And what I do with referrals is I don't have very good luck in challenge groups saying, hey, if anybody knows people that want to do the next group, or I've tried to offer a prize, crickets. Nobody cares. I don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. It works for some people. But so what I do is I ask for referrals right away personally. And what I do is I say, hey, you're going to join this group. Do you know a friend that wants to do it with you? Does your husband want to do it with you? Does your mom want to do it with you? It makes for a great dynamic and extra accountability. And it does. And they do. And it's awesome because then you can get 4 Success Club points as opposed to 2. And it's okay if the husbands don't do the work. They're still having extra accountability. And what I mean by work, I mean in the group. So anyways, okay, I've gone over 5 minutes. 6 minutes, so I'm really, really proud of myself. And I am going to take questions. I'm going to stop screen sharing. And hope you can see me. And there is a delay on my end of things. And I will close out the call. So if you have to leave, because I know that you guys have to go to work or whatever, but if not, feel free to ask me some questions. How did you know what your market liked? Watch your market, pay attention to the likes, pay attention to the crickets. I have posted things that I have taken down in 2 seconds. You know, it's really trial and error is what it is. You have to be bold, but, you know, just try it. You just have to watch and learn, trial and error. My thing is I get a lot of likes when I message but no replies. Is it a trust thing? How do I build trust? It can be. It depends where you are in your coach journey. I feel like I'm at a part in my coach journey where I've been doing this for a while. People know what I do. They know I've had some success. And so now I can fully be like more businessy about it. And more direct, because I built kind of a reputation. But as a new coach, I didn't do that. As a new coach, I just spoke to them more like a friend and like, hey, this worked for me. And I built trust that way. I don't know if that answers your question. I would just say to keep trying. Yeah, and then if they don't if they don't still reply, then I just say, follow up with them 2 or 3 times and then cut your losses and move on. Trust me, there are still people that don't reply to me. I'm not an expert yet. You're welcome. Yes, Brittany has a good point. Be a friend. Yes, that is what really helped me get started in the beginning for sure. Be yourself. Be yourself. Yeah, and so if, you know, I'll talk with Brittany about maybe adding some of my templates to the Dynasty United page, if that's if anybody's interested in that. But I think I covered everything. Thanks, Mindy. Do you plan your pictures, posts ahead of time, or do you wing it? Both. It's not always a good idea to wing challenge group posts because I feel like there's a lot more writing on that. And so I always plan those out. But something that I do is I tell people to save posts for a rainy day. And that means you can just get on your phone and you have a notes section, or do it on pen and paper. And when you're inspired by ideas or you see somebody else like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that, write it down. So then later when you're really busy or you can't work that day or whatever, you you know, literally if it's a rainy day, you can bring it out and use it. So that saved me a lot of times. But I will say, because I have a background in design and art, that naturally I'm good at winging it, but that's okay. Look how successful Brittany is. I mean, she doesn't have a design or a background in design. So you don't have to be a designer to be successful. You just have to use your talents, you know? Yes, jot down inspiration. So you teamed up with other coaches in the beginning to do challenge groups. I did, not in the beginning, actually. I actually do them now because I have a bigger organization and more on my plate, and my daughter's a toddler, and, you know, I have a lot of other things going on. In the beginning, I had quit freelancing and I had a baby, and so I had a lot more time. So I was doing the mom groups by myself. But now I share the responsibility just because I have a lot going on. Or you can use Post Planner or automatic planners, so you're not always having to be in the group. But you could use coaches in the beginning. I think it's great. I mean, I think you should collaborate. Yes, Alex, when you have a mental block, and we all get those. I will keep questions until 1 o'clock if you want. That's a few more minutes. Please, I know a lot of you guys have jumped off, but if you have more questions, I'm here. I have Evelyn's nanny upstairs with her, so I'm not worried. I will also share the slides too for you to use if you want to share with your teams. How do you track your convos? So in the beginning of my business, I was such a sloppy tracker, and Brittany knows this. She would ask for my tracker, and it would be a picture of Post-it notes all over the place. That is because of my creative mind, and that's how I do stuff. That works for a while, but then it doesn't anymore. And so now I'm moving over to electronic ways of tracking, but I have a separate notebook that I would keep just for challengers, just for challenge prospects. But something else, a coach tracking packet that I just created, or kind of finagled from another coach, and just gave it to my team. And I'm giving the second half later today. It's great because it has a list of challenger prospects, coach prospects, people that you add on Facebook. And this is what I've been using really, really effectively in my business since January. I started using in this elite training we're doing with Brittany, and it's been really helpful. So I track on pen and paper. I know Miranda does, like, she used to do a Google Doc sheet, but I tried to do that, but it just didn't work for me because I'm such a pen and paper person. But I am gonna, because my business is growing, I'm moving it over into like a CRM type thing. So yeah, but you have to track. Oh my gosh, I always tell my team, learn from me, learn from me. You have to track because it's just better to do it in the beginning. So. I know, Streak. Oh my gosh, I'm still in limbo. Streak or the one that Shay uses. I can't even think of it right now. My mind's going blank. So, yay, Teamsy, Miranda. Teamsy, that's it. I know my coach Noelle started using it and loves it. So, yeah. Yes, please, because I'm like, Teamsy, Streak. I'm so indecisive. So, okay, well, it's 1 o'clock, and I think you guys are either gone, you're eating your lunch, or you're back at work. And yeah, so you know where to find me in the Dynasty United Family page if you have any questions, but I hope this was helpful. So.